When you're searching for abstract acrylic painting, there's no doubt you've seen the videos of abstract painters using palette knives. In this video, we're going to explore abstract acrylic painting with a palette knife. Let's go ahead and start right now. If you've watched any of my other YouTube videos, you may already know I'm hugely influenced by other YouTube artists. I started painting about 2 years ago, and when I first started painting, one of the very first things I did was what you're doing right now. I went to YouTube and I started searching for artists to figure out, what I wanted to do. Naturally, I gravitated towards abstract painting as it seemed like an easy way to get entered into the art world. And as a result, I started finding a lot of palette knife artists or artists on YouTube using palette knives in these viral abstract painting videos. Artists like Ray Grimes, Oliver Mass, Siraj Fine Arts. Even John Beckley uses a palette knife once in a while. He doesn't use it primarily like some of these other artists do, but it's one of those things that led me to giving it a try myself. Just in case this is your first time to my channel, I'm Mark. Welcome to the Art with Mark YouTube channel. And on this channel, I'm learning to create, market, and sell art, and I want to share everything that I learned with you. Let's go ahead and jump into that demonstration. Alright, we're going to start off this demonstration with Green Deep Permanent. Why is it called Green Deep? Why is it not Deep Green? And what's the deal with the permanent? Why is that always part of the name? Anyway, we're also going to be using turquoise blue and primary blue. There's the primary blue right there. And I'm just going to start off by putting some blobs of paint onto the canvas. And then just spreading them out with my palette knife. When it comes to palette knives, they're really one of those essential tools that generally will come with most paint sets. If it doesn't come with the paint set that you get, I definitely recommend picking up a small pack of plastic ones like the ones you see me using here. They cost about $5. They're super cheap. But they're really useful for a lot of things and not just for painting with. There's a lot of times I end up using them to mix two colors together, or maybe to mix my paint in with texture paste. Speaking of which, doing a palette knife painting like what we're doing right now is another great way to get textures into your painting. I did do another video on abstract acrylic painting textures that you can use. I only covered 4 different pastes in that video. There's so many other textures to cover, which we definitely will be exploring. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Alright, now you see me covering the rest of the canvas here. When it comes to working it into some of these smaller spots, I had to use the tip of the palette knife, work it around, and then come back and smooth it out a bit. You also might want to consider being strategic in the way you spread the colors out. If you watch some of the artists on YouTube, you might notice that they strategically spread out all of the warm colors at once and then all of the cool colors. Whether or not you want to wipe the palette knife in between doing that, that's entirely up to you. You'll get different effects whether you wipe it or don't wipe it. It's entirely up to you. That's the awesome thing about abstract painting. It's pretty forgiving. You can pretty much, do what you want. Experiment. Live free. Okay, so now when it comes to adding more colors on top of already wet paint, if you want the color to stay more saturated, you have to really do it with a very light touch in order not to mix it with the other paints. Just swoop in like a ninja. Really, that's kind of what I do. I lightly swoop it over until I get the courage to swoop it down low enough to touch the canvas. In fact, not really doing it here, but in just a second when I start adding the white paint, which I'm about to do now. There it is. Alternatively, you can load a bit more paint up onto the knife. See how I'm kind of trying to move it around there from one spot to another, which is causing me to mix it up a little bit more, which really I wanted to do. But if you don't want to do that, you just put the paint on a little bit heavier. And by that I mean just load a little bit more paint onto your palette knife before you come in with that ninja swoop. If you're interested in looking at other types of palette knife paintings, I do have a blog post on my website. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description below about a bunch of different palette knife painting artists that I found on YouTube. I found them on Instagram, but I did find a bunch of videos of their work on YouTube as well. So all of that stuff is in the post, linked in the description. Alright, that was abstract acrylic painting with a palette knife. If you got any value out of this video and you want to see more content just like it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button to let me know you're enjoying the content, and there's a ton more coming this way, so stay tuned. Hey, before you take off, if you're looking for any more abstract painting techniques, go ahead and check out this video right here.